gosh, Ruby's gonna yell at me. Ruth, you're very clean today. How did you get so clean and shiny? Look, he's gonna run a little bit. I like trots like the hippopotamus. Good morning, everybody. Howdy, neighbor. Mama Zero neighbor. Ruby is over there screaming at the top of her lungs already. And I just gave him a fresh bale of hay. Didn't get a freaking, well, okay, got about 4 drops of rain. The whole storm missed us probably by less than a quarter of a mile. Maybe a mile. It sucked. It sprinkled and then quit. That was it. It was just black. The Ruby, hang on. I'm gonna have to feed her. I'm gonna have to start feeding them first. I feed them second because they're not ever up there at the feed trough. I give them time to get to the top. I wasn't gonna go live because it's so nice this morning. And then we got a heat advisory the rest of the day. But I was like, hell, I'll sit here for a minute. Ruby likes her groceries. Y'all spread out some. What the hell are y'all doing this morning? Rufus, get down there where you're supposed to be. You're screwing up the works, man. Rufus, come down in the corner. Come down in the middle. There we go. Push him down, Rhonda. Rufus is the division. He needs to be in the middle so that the girls don't fight. Good morning. I'm going to do a video today on hay quality. I was thinking like, I don't know if everybody knows about hay and hay quality and everything about it. I was going to go through some stuff. My dad had a hay company, and we hauled hay for years and years, and I was like, people don't know a lot of stuff about hay and the different kinds and qualities and put up right, and the protein levels and the nitrogen levels, nitrate levels, and try it. Probably not do real well, but I'll tell you what I know about it. Hay quality is so important, and some of the things that I've tested through the years that's tested better than people think, and things that have tested worse than people think. Roxanne, stop. Roxanne, you know what my dad would call you? He'd say, yo, B-I-T-C-H. Anytime there was a cow acting up. And I think that was, I don't know that he meant that in like the harsh way that I don't. One thing I don't call girls is the B word, ever. But unless we're joking, it's kind of funny to see Amanda's face if I say it. By God, you better be joking, though. I'll tell you that right now. She crying? No, Rhonda, we get different kinds of hay in. I've ruled it down to hay, and her eyes will run. I've treated her for flies and different things. Sometimes, most of the time, when you see a cow have a stain on its face like that, it's from flies. That one there isn't even out of the corner of her eye. So I would say that new bale of hay I put in yesterday, it's right down there. She may have got a haze in her eye or something in her eye was flushing. Keep an eye on it though. You want to always watch that when you see their eyes water like that. Rhonda's does it pretty regularly. But if you saw Rufus's face white like that with a strip down it, is bad news for him because he gets pink eye really bad. These other ones, like Roxanne, you won't hardly see hers do it at all. I really, honestly, I think it is an allergy to certain things she has a little bit of. Maybe a certain grass or something. It's just one of those things. Hers looks worse because she's got, the whitish red, and that red undercoat turns dark and almost looks like a mud, even though it's not. Roxanne, I'm gonna be honest with you. Roxanne pisses me off with the eating thing because she's the only one that just is an asshole. Like, I love her. She's my favorite cow by far because we've spent so much time together. I almost lost her. And I'm like, I don't know why you're like this, dude. If I thought you needed more feed, I'd bring you in here and pin you in and let you eat by yourself. No, I ran into, all right, let me get to reading here instead of talking. So on the Brahman cows, I honestly, I'm not real familiar with them. I've always been around the cross, which a Brahman and a Hereford like is Redford. And those typically are a little more wild that I've been around. Now, Rhonda, the full bloods like that, when I went to the farm, the guy had them. Of course, he'd spent years, managing his herd, so he had a bunch of really good ones. This one actually was taken care of by the farmer's wife, and she was very reluctant to let me buy her, which I didn't know until I got there. And I said, listen, I'm not buying this cow. She raised her from a bottle. But they had so many, and I offered them more money than I've ever paid for a cow in my life, which isn't a ton of money, but it's more than I've ever paid for a cow. My accent is confusing. Look up the Arkansas accent. It'll tell you more about where our accents come from. Good morning. What was the other question there? Oh, I ain't getting on him. You kidding me? I ain't got nothing to hang on to. You just be sitting up on his back. That's death written all over. Don't worry. Don't worry, Jim. I'm not gonna sit on Rebus's back unless I'm hanging on to something. You gotta have some rigging of some sort to hold on to. You ain't got a mane, nothing. I personally would not recommend Brahman cows unless you get to know one. Like if you went to an auction and you were going to buy something like that you didn't know anything about, typically they're not the best mannered, the ones that go to sell. Now, I'll be honest with you, on this app, I've seen lots of really good ones, so it's changed my whole perspective on them. Everything has a personality, a little different. Every one of them right here has different view and how they've been handled. I mean, Rhonda run me into the ground and smashed me. About broke my shoulder blade. But I was playing with her baby. And mamas don't like to see their babies running. So, I mean, that was fair. Our Ruth's horn's going to get bigger. Okay. So a lot of people see horns on cows that are big, stick way out. It depends on the breed. So Brahmins normally will have a pretty short horn. On a cow, just looking at hers, I don't know if you can see the bases up. They're real wide. They're almost like a diamond shape. I was really hoping they were going to turn and go up and be real narrow and go up like this, those are real dangerous. The more that they hook up, the more dangerous they are. The more they go straight out side to side, a little bit less dangerous they are. So even with her being as gentle as she is, she can swing that, hit you in the back or in the ribs, break your ribs. Like, just if one tries to wedge in against another one and one of them spooks and runs over the other and then ends up running over you, Rhonda heard something. Cows will tell on other animals. So if you watch cows and where their ears are pointing and they're looking, they'll most of the time always spot something before you do. Look out, Ruth. She's going to turn you over in there. Or Roro. Roro, get out of the... Stop it, Rhonda. She's like, get your happy ass out of the way. They're very tough animals. Like, that right there would have broke my leg. And then whacking against the edge of that concrete. Look at Roro. No limp, no nothing. No hair even came off of her. Rhonda will eat underneath Rufus. That's where I like for these two to be split up. What up, guys? Okay, we got everything set up for our live for our members only last night, and we just got to pick a day. We may run a test run this week, one evening. This is a really big cow. When I saw a picture of her, she did not look as big as she is, but she's a really big cow. She's probably close to 1,500 pounds, and she is chunk. Those cows normally look poor all the time. To me, they look poor, but that's just how they're built. But for her, not to see any ribs, not to see anything. Her hump's half cocked over because it's so fat. No, she's not pregnant yet. She could have bred back a few days ago or a week ago, but I saw clear fluid coming out of her just a week ago or so. That meant she had going through a good healthy cycle. Batman is your snake detector? I don't know what that means, but well said. Rhonda, quit. I gotta get that other feed trough. They've been out. I drilled post holes yesterday, and I gotta buy a new drill bit. Oh, Spider-Man. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Oh, well, we got a lot of snakes relocated the last couple days. What was crazy was we left a lot too. We left a lot of non-venomous, just regular old water snakes. But I was actually shocked. We had found about 3 cottonmouths altogether. Yeah, I took a video of Spider-Man and them before I started feeding them. Their field is pretty much grazed down. And I took a video of them prior to giving them some real high quality hay. I like when Rhonda pins her ears back. She's smelling something. The wind's coming from behind me. Look at her. Look at how thick she is. I know that breed just looks bony because they have such a giant frame. Oh, he's over here eating beside his mama. We've come a long ways. If you go back and look at my first content and look at these old shaggy hair suckers, they're not real shiny. Of course, they were young, but I was admiring them the other day. She's very fancy. Very fancy. What up, South Carolina? Have a good day, everyone. What was it, Dainty Dane? Good morning. I know. I just need them to get along. Prince of Pakistan. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. The longer I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, the better I'm liking it. I gotta go get a nail gun today. I don't know where mine went, but I had one that shoot down into concrete, and I need to shoot a bunch of my seal plates down with my framer. Look at Roos's neck. He makes everybody else look small. Rhonda's on the uphill side of him, but she is a big cow. I want to see Roro grown. I think Roro is going to be a whopper for a cow. That's another reason. A bull, you know, that's like Rowdy. You saw him the other day. Look how shiny that boy is. I'm glad he doesn't have horns. But the bulls grow faster. House is going fine. We're in the middle of framing inside right now, and we're not in any big hurry because we're pretty much at the end of our budget with the framing. So I got tied up with Amanda yesterday. We went car shopping for her because her car is getting a lot of miles on it, and I just don't, I do not like a 4Runner. I don't like it. I never have liked it. I don't like to ride in it. So we went and basically just traded payments on another car for her, even though we should have just kept it and paid it off. But whatever. You always have a car payment, I feel like, so. I'm gonna be honest with you, 4Runner people, like when you shut the door on those things, it's like a piece of aluminum. Like they're not very safe. I don't think, my opinion. She got a new Expedition, Ford Expedition. Yeah, it's a Toyota. I've never owned a Ford, so I felt like I kissed my sister over there yesterday. It felt weird, but she drove. I wanted her to get one of the new Tahoes, but it's really not that big. It's about the size of a Tahoe. It's really not big. Like she drove a Tahoe home, and yeah, like I mean, it's I would say it's equal to a Tahoe, but it is way, way nicer, and it's cheaper. You're shocked, Lindsay? This one is 22 miles to the gallon, is what it says on the sticker. Good morning, everyone. The Tahoe is 16 and premium. So we went round and round and around with it, and the more bang for the buck was the Ford, and I feel really weird about it, but it's hers. Nothing against Fords, guys. Listen, I am a Ford guy, Chevy guy, and I do not like a Dodge, and I hate Jeeps. I'm not a Mopar guy at all. Um, I'm not gonna say I hate them, but to each their own. But we all built race cars our whole life, and we were all Chevrolet guys. And my buddy, that's a big mechanic, he switched to Fords years ago. And I got out of racing when I had some babies, and Ford is trying to do like John Deere. Where's maintenance work? Well, listen to me. This thing has a warranty on it, like a sumbitch, and they come to my house and change my oil. And you know what? If it's the big boss shit, I'm good with that, because I'll tell you something about Toyota service. It is absolutely terrible what we've dealt with. Like, literally, she's been forgotten in there. She's always set up an appointment, and Amanda is very by the book. God almighty, Rufus. Jesus. I should have known it was coming with you pawing. Why, dude? Oh, man. The wind's blowing this way, Roof. I'm going to be honest with you. Yesterday, what caused the whole car tobacco was the service department at Toyota. So I'm out. Done. We bought a few different Toyotas, and I'm out. We basically traded payments for a newer car, which I wanted to just really pay everything off and get out of all that stuff. But whatever. They're going to be driving a little bit further to school too. I want them to be safe, and it's a little bit bigger than the 4Runner. Way nicer. Got all kinds of stuff on it, and Amanda deserves it. So that was a steamer, dude. And I wish I could ship you a little bit of the smell of that, Mike, because that sumbitch is that whatever they do when they're pawing, when they're marking, that's something that comes out of a different spot in their gut or something, because it is not a typical poop. Ashley. Well, they need something. Oh, so, like, I'm not kidding. When I shut the door on that thing, it felt like I was shutting a piece of aluminum. Like, if you got hit in the side, it didn't even have CarPlay. It didn't even have a remote start. It didn't have any of those things in the wintertime. Even though she's going to have a good garage now. I'm Toyota customer service guy. Yeah, I wish you were, dude. I'll be honest with you. I just about drove up there yesterday. I've been removed from a couple different car places because of Amanda. So, if that tells you anything. People try to take advantage of, they don't try to take advantage of women. They do. And there's nothing pisses me off worse than messing with my wife or my kids. And they just try to, these oil change places and all this shit is the biggest racket of shit ever. I've never been so mad in my life. I've literally been taken out by the police before from places, thanks to my wife. So I'm just talking about service departments, period, with women. I don't know what their problem is, but if you come in there and you act, they test you with a few questions, and if you act like you don't know any better, they will absolutely rip your head off, and it infuriates me. You guys, I ain't even ready to tell you what happened yesterday yet. Like, that caused this whole thing. Like, I'm gonna make a video on it. That's how bad it was. Now you smell it. Thank God. That's the kind of shit service departments do right there. You know what? Let's not just give them all underneath the same umbrella, because there are some pretty good places. I ain't found one yet, but we'll give them the courtesy of the doubt. It's nice this morning, isn't it, girls? Look at them. Everybody's like, it's nice. Tell Rufus feed trough. I bet everybody appreciates that, Rufus. Everybody. Man, nice square body Chevy. That's what I want so bad. Regular cab, short bed. And I would even take a two-wheel drive. My first truck was in '82, and I put the Suburban 90 headlights in front, the whole front clip on it, basically. He does have a super pink nose. Look at that thing. Like a little piggy. Oh, there's Earl the squirrel. Earl! We need to mark him somehow. It was a Silverado. Had a 400 small block in it. Had in-dash tack. Man, I mean, I was shitting in high cotton in that thing. That was my first truck. That was my second truck. And my dad was really against me buying it. What was that, Earth? I missed the first part of it. Roofaloo, the only bull. That's part port. Yeah. He definitely has a pink nose. And he's got really pink eyelids. That's one thing that a lot of farmers don't like about the white face, like the baldies, is that pink. People will swear to you that's more sensitive skin, and it's a little bit easier for them to get pink eye and different things. Man, there's an argument you don't even. God dang, Roxanne looked like she tried to bite him right on the eye. She was just licking some molasses. Leave her alone. Sometimes Roxanne looks like she tries to take a bite. I'm glad she don't have teeth on the top and the bottom. Well, let me just tell you something. I've seen about 9 Earls come through here. So which one of them? We need to mark them. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. We could shoot the tip off his tail or something, maybe. Back in the good old days. Hey there, just wondering who is the fastest. Hey there, just wondering who is the fastest, thanks. Out of the bulls or cows, or what are we talking about? Who's the fastest? Rufus is definitely has set the speed record out of the entire herd. Redford was in front of him, and Rufus was trying to remove him from being alive anymore. And Rufus was serious, and that's the day that Redford actually jumped off that. I call it a cliff. It's only about maybe as tall as that corral right here. And it came off, and there was a rock face, pretty rough too. Redford went off that sumbitch. I've got a video of it. I need to dig it up. I was behind them, so it's a little bit harder to see because when you're looking at the ground, like you can't see that drop off right there. But Rufus was hooking his ass cheeks with his horns, and Redford was pinned his ear back like a damn deer. And Rufus took him backwards through a fence and through the woods and into trees and shit. Earth. Morning, Brent and fellow lazy bastard. Glad I was able to keep this one. Did Blue, the mouse that lived in the Ranger, survive? I don't know. I actually haven't even opened the hood on that thing, but from the looks of the corn chewed up on my seat every day, still around. We need to check on it. We'll check on it in just a second. Roxanne and Roro. I'm gonna be honest with you, Roxanne's a runner, and so is Roro. And I know this sounds hard to believe, but let me just tell you, I've seen Rufus and Redford in high speed before, and the cows can't hold a candle to them. Even the calves. I mean, it's scary actually. That was towards the end of them two being together. It's all right, Lori. We're early. I've been jumping on early, setting up here. Are you a 1 month member, Earth? Thank you. The 1 month member. We got several people on here that are members now. I do appreciate all y'all. It did not rain, Jay. It rained about 25 drops, and it missed us by like maybe a mile. That's what it cost me to ride Rufus. Probably my life. Riding him's not the part that is going to be bad. It's getting off of him. You're going to be really close to him. What I thought about, hear me out, okay? And I've gone over this with Amanda, and she's like, can't even take me seriously. But what I've thought about is, listen, I get one of those harnesses like construction guys have, hook it, tether it to my bucket of my tractor, have Hagen set me on his back, lift the boom up high enough that I can't bounce into the bottom of the bucket, and then him set me on there. What could go wrong with that? Hagen go the wrong way with the bucket loader and set me down in front of him, and then Rufus get tangled up in the harness somehow, and I'll be a swinging pinata on there, the shit beat out of me. That's what Hagen, make sure we go up, drops me down, boom. I swing back, boom again. You know. Hagen is my son, yeah. I think it'll work, Danny. Or wait, was that Donnie? I think that would work. But Hagen, he works at the co-op. I try to get him out here like a pinata. I know, but theoretically, that would probably be the safest way to ride him. Can we all agree on that? I think so. Don't think. Duct tape. My dad used to say, yeah, hell yeah, we'll get you on there. We'll tie your feet together underneath his belly, and then you won't be able to fall off. Okay. One time I asked my dad, when I was about 12, I was like, everybody's getting their ear pierced, you know, early 90s there. And I was like, Dad, I'd like to get my ear pierced. What do you think about that? And he goes, yeah, hell yeah, I think you should. He goes, matter of fact, he went outside for a minute, came back in. Lay your head down right there. And I was like, why? And he goes, I'm going to drive this nail through your head, and then I'll get both your ears at the same time. And it'll be nice and even. And I was like, okay, Dad. I'll never forget it. Here, lay your head down on this board. I'm going to drive this nail through your fucking head. Knock it both out at the same time. You gotta appreciate the way dads say stuff, you know. I don't know where I got my personality from. There's a friend of mine on Facebook, and she was bit by a copperhead. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, in her driveway, barefoot, walking to her car. She moved to a different house, everything, and about 2 years ago, she got bit in her driveway on her foot again by a copperhead. And I was thinking, what are the chances of that? I don't really know where I was going with that, but anyways, I commented on her. She put an anniversary. She's super cool, but I commented on her post and said, "That poor old snake probably sicker than shit after biting you." And I thought that was a little bit, questionably rude or crude. You know what I mean? And she goes, "Yeah, my dad said he probably had to lick his ass to get the taste out of his mouth after that." And I was just thinking, that's what my dad would have said too. He'd had to lick his butt for a month. Oh, y'all gonna stay up here this morning because it's nice and cool? That's what she said to my response. Then I felt kind of like the P word because I didn't say it to begin with, even though I did think it, but I tried to clean mine up. And I was like, she just one up my manliness, My dad always said, I don't know why, my dad was not afraid of anything that walked or crawled on this planet. Like, he had zero fear of venomous, whatever it was. I've never seen him jump because of anything or like try to get something off of him or something or spiders or whatever. He grew up down in the Boston mountains, um, on a creek bed, like literally. But he'd always say, "I don't know why you're afraid of them snakes." I'd be like, "I ain't going in there, man. It's a snaky looking son bitch in there, and you can't see your feet." He'd say, "I don't know why you're afraid. They just got two little bitty teeth. For God's sakes." Yeah, we lost Dad about 7 years ago now. 6, 7, something. Man, it'd have been some great content if I'd had him on here. He grew up south of Prairie Grove. There's mountains down there called Cove Creek, and he that's where he grew up down in the cliffs. He had fruit jars full of rattlers from rattlesnakes. But there's a bunch of big cliffs and bluffs, real bluffs down there. Oh man, he had so many different stories of stuff. But man, he was just really abrasive, like way more than me to deal with. And it was like he would talk to anybody like they were like his kid or something. You know what I mean? Like I'd just be going the other way. He's like, I don't know. And if he saw something just put together just wrong or built wrong, like something to do with, he did custom fences and logged and did all kinds of stuff. So if he saw somebody cutting something wrong or doing something wrong, he would just be talking to you like you were one of his kids, and he'd chew your ass, man. Like Hagen at the feed store, he didn't pay attention. Brent Matt had Henry polled yesterday. He's doing well, but Muffin was jealous. He got to ride instead of him. He did. I was wondering if he was going to leave him horned or not. I'd left him horned. What's he going to do? Tickle your butt? He ain't no bigger than nothing. But Dad was country, I would love for my dad to have met Rufus, but I'm going to tell you right now, nobody would have wanted to hear what he had to say about him. He'd said, "You need to get rid of that son of a bitch before he hurts somebody. If he hurts one of them kids, I'm going to kick your ass up between your shoulders." That's what he would say. I can hear him say it. You need to get rid of him. That's what he'd have said every day. And then he probably would have came around, depending on what age he was at. In his younger days, he may not have said that, but as he got older, he got a little softer. Yeah, they hurt. Yeah, Yeah, I know, but Roxanne is a good mama. She is. Her babies will be spotless. Look at him over there. No, my mama is in a assisted living. She her hip broke last year. We think it when she was walking, and broke her hip and broke her wrist and arm all at the same time. And boy, it really scared her to death. She was fell down on the floor in her house, and she's got finally got crawled over to her phone and called me. Didn't call 911. Didn't call anything. Called me, and I was like, I could tell she was panicking. And I don't know what happened. Like she barely got to her phone. And her phone, like she pulled it loose from it was the cord phone, pulled it loose. Anyways, um, I went flying over to her house, kicked her door in. Sure enough, she'd broke. I was like, Mom, why didn't you call 911? She's like, oh, it's not that bad. I said, Mom, your arm looks like the letter Z. She's been in assisted living now for 2 years, or almost 2 years. So she's good, but she's terrified to fall down again. So she refuses to she's afraid that she's gonna fall. I don't know. There's probably some. And I said, Mom, you do whatever you want to do. She sits, drinks coffee, like she's always done. Calls everybody on the phone. And 77, I think. She really wasn't. The falling in her house wasn't the traumatic part. It was the surgery and being in the hospital. My mom was always with my dad. So after my dad passed away, my mom just didn't know what to do anymore. But she likes the assisted living. They call me all the time. They're like, your mom's refusing to do this today. Your mom's refusing to do that today. And I was like, okay, well, she's an old lady. She's going to do whatever the hell she wants to do. She was like, well, we're going to do a shower. And they sent this little bitty tiny girl in here. Now, my mom's 100 pounds, so anybody could help my mom take a shower. And she's like, well, they said they're going to give me a shower at like 8 o'clock in the morning. She goes, this little girl came in. She's like, I don't think I can do it. And then they came back at like 1. And mom was like, no, I'm taking a shower now. We'll take a shower tomorrow. They called me and they said, well, your mom refused to take a shower. And I was like, okay, what'd she say? They said, well, she said she'd take one in the morning. I was like, sounds to me like she's going to be taking one tomorrow in the morning. I don't know why you think I have any pull over my mom. Y'all have better chances than me, probably. That's what I thought. I was like, why? She took a shower yesterday. She'd take one today. Take one tomorrow. I was like, does she need one? Like, is something going on? Like, no. We just do this this day or this day and this day. And I was like, okay, well, you want to watch me get my ass chewed with y'all getting your ass chewed? I missed something, didn't I? They just got a job to do like everybody else, you know. No. Yeah, my mama's from over in Oklahoma. She is a native, and my dad grew up down in the mountains on the Arkansas side. What was so funny is my dad would always tell us boys, he didn't want us over there. You can go anywhere you want to go. Don't be going over there and running around over, I won't name any of the towns. He goes, Crazy over there. So, Dad, where'd you meet Mom at? Over there. Okay. I don't know. They crack me up. Now my mom was like 5 foot. Dad's 6 foot. He's probably 6'4". That was a fart. My mom's about 105 pounds. My dad's about 240, 260 something. Hey, the only thing I ever seen my dad afraid of was my mom, actually. So I can change that. Oh, can't really lose somebody. Them girls trying to do their job, and they got such a high turnover rate at a lot of these. Yes, I do. Yeah, oh yeah. What was that? Hey, Brent, do you think between Rufus and Muffin would go well? Not for Muffin. Rufus isn't. Rufus doesn't pick fights. Like, I've never seen Rufus pick a fight other than playing with Redford. Redford would pick an actual fight with Rufus. Hunter responsibility. Yeah, that's what happens. She wiped my butt when I was a baby, kept me alive, and I don't know how, God bless her. Like, I remember everything I used to do, and I'm like, I don't know how my mom kept up with us three boys and my dad. A lot of cooking, I know that. My brother, I'm the smallest one in my family, but my brothers and my dad. You get a new Toyota arriving today. Checking it out. Man, I'd rather have a bucket of sand pounded in my ass than buy another Toyota. So how's that? Mm-hmm. Rufus really isn't mean, and that's what made me so mad at Redford was Redford would go and like really try to hurt Rufus, like really try to hurt him. No, I don't think I'll ever have. I'll always buy hay. Um, I don't have I don't have any hay fields yet. Now Spider Man, he's good. I did a before video, and I'm gonna give him about a week and a half. I'm gonna do an after video of. Not me. I take the sand. It's about what's happened. Roxanne, you gonna check it again? I don't know about smart, but let me tell you something different between smart and persistent in drive. I do have a psychotic amount of persistence and drive, and I'll do things incorrectly till I get it right. Whether it takes 100 times or however many times it takes to do it, I'll do it. That's the only way. Like this social media stuff and doing this stuff. Like it seems pretty simple, but it is. Me and Amanda have figured out there's really no help. First off, there's really no help. Like there's nobody to talk to. There's no informative anything. Like I drilled some holes. There's really no help though. Like you have nobody to talk to, nobody to guide you, nobody to tell you if you're doing something right or wrong. Um, I've really thought about, and I know this sounds crazy, but I could help. What's that called? What are those people called that um, guide you? Um, oh Oh shit, why is this word evading me right now? See, this is the reason why. Not mentor, but consult. Yes, that's it. I could consult, and I really could. I see a lot of creators and a lot of people on here, and I see a lot of different things on different websites that people have a great. They have great content. It just they put it in the wrong order. Like they want to talk with their face in the camera for 15 minutes before they get into what's going on, and they have some really good content buried in all of their stuff. Like I do all my edits myself. I do everything myself. And sometimes the order that y'all see it in isn't exactly how it happened, but it's really close. But you have to grab people's attention. With animals, you can't stage anything. They're going to do what they're going to do. There's no staging. There's no coming out here with an idea. All you have to do is come out here and interact, and some shit's going to happen, okay? Now, of course, the bulls have twice the energy, and these two have crazy personalities, which the Lord has blessed me with these two crazy guys and not let them kill me yet. So, and Rufus, is probably the most identifiable. Like I had a lot of things just come together for me unknowing, but now I look and I'm like, man, you can't find a more identifiable ass bull because look at this crooked ass horn, red, white, big old pink nose like a pig. You think about that, like how you can't, like Roxanne here, she's jet black. Now I could spot her out of a million cows, but like her personality is great, but she's just not real identifiable. Like if you scroll through and you see a black cow doing something, or white, now we all know the beauties over there, but they have to have some personality. And you'll see a lot of different ones that look like her, but you won't see another frickin' Rufus. And Roro, she's gonna be great. She's gonna be great. I can't wait for her to keep growing and getting big. You know what I mean, though? If you put that whole thing together, I'm not smart enough, first off, guys, to think of all that stuff. But now that I see it, I'm like, well, thank you, Lord. I know I'm not smart enough to do this, but Rowdy's going to be huge. But he has really no big identifying characteristics yet. Redford is brindle. He screams at everything. Who knows what Rowdy will bring? People are like, I get some comments sometimes, and they're like, Brent, you did this. And I'm like, I'm not smart enough to do this. I put the physical work in. But the good Lord's the one that got us to this point. No, I got hope for Rowdy. He's funny. He is built like a brick shithouse. He's going to be cool. He's going to need to be around Redford. So Roxanne has a pretty psychotic personality underlying. So I don't know that y'all have ever seen that, but I've seen her just absolutely wreck Redford. Apparently Redford wrecked her one time. Bastard. I'll never forget me looking at him when he was born. I'm like, son of a bitch. And I really took a while. I see Redford looking at something over there. Is somebody coming? Maybe my my framers. Hello. Rowdy was willing to. I think Rowdy is going to be a muscle ball. He's got a lot of beef in him. He's going to need a lot of wheat. I'm going to be honest with you, though. It's going to take one tough son of a bitch to play with Redford. Redford is the absolute most violent, persistent, stout, undeterred, crazy bastard. Like, he doesn't care that Rufus would ball him up and wad him up and crush him into the dirt and rocks face first. Like, he is tough. Oh, Cookie bit Amanda's lip yesterday, and I mean, bit it. And Amanda called me, and she sends me a picture, and she got a big old blood blister on her lip. And all I said was, "Did you get it on video?" And no, she didn't. And don't ask that question first, okay? Ask if she's okay first. Ask that first. Oh, yeah, he got her on the lip. I said, "What was you doing, trying to kiss him or something?" I said, "Do you have some lip gloss on or something?" No, but I'll be honest with you. Like, if anybody ever been henpecked or pecked by a turkey, they ain't got nothing on these, by the way. And when they peck you, they bite and they twist the son of a bitch like that. I mean, they're like a pair of vice grips. Got her on the lip. I said, "Did you yell any cuss words or profanities?" And she said, "Oh, yeah." She goes, "It really didn't hurt that bad right at first." Cookies is money. Cookies is good. We're trying to find Cookies a friend. Bad part is hatching season's over with now. Most emus are either already been bought and sold, or no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't be sorry. Don't blame who? Amanda? No, I just wanted her to have it on video. That's all I wanted. I said, "You may want to wear some damn safety glasses in there, because that would be bad." Avoid peckers. That's what my dad would say. He goes, "You can tell it's a boy. Look at his pecker." Mike. That was a go-to joke. I did want it on video. So then she posted the video, and I'm watching it the whole time to see it pecker, and it never did. Well, hell, she's sitting a while in there, and the thing is now, if you're sitting on your butt, its head is about your nose, I think. Well, I will say one thing, because of all the interaction now, Cookies is really bonded to her. I was just thinking about that. Something else turned on me here. I need to get out there and spend some time with him too. But aren't I the one that started the emu? Maybe. I mean, it was a picture. Look at all these guys just laying around. Everybody but Roxanne. I've asked the vet about her, because she'll rest her head like that, and if maybe there was something wrong with her spine, or she was having a headache or something, and he was like, "Some cows just kind of rest standing up, rest the weight of their head like that." He's fine and everything, and said he didn't feel anything, that she likes to rest like that. She'll close her eyes completely into there. I hear Earl. Well, she likes to stand with her head against something, puts pressure on it. She used to do it to me when she was a baby. Let's go over here and see these babies. Let's see if Rowdy will stay laying there. What's the matter, Ro-Ro? What's the matter, Ro-Ro? What's the matter, old girl? I don't have no treats or nothing. I was just gonna sit down here. I'm gonna sit down here. You don't see any cottonmouths, do you? Boy, you are thick. Look at your old belly. That hay puts on, I mean, it puts the weight on them. Kind of a hay bloat, but she is so soft. She got her ears back here. They'll keep their ears pretty much pointed at you. Now she's got some scurs coming in. Actually, they're not scurs, those are horns. I don't feel them move at all. So she's gonna have, that looks like a damn nipple. That looks like a nipple on a boy. What do you got kind of horn is that? Your dad is such a weirdo. It's a clear horn, kind of like Rufus's horn. But by gosh, she is gonna have them. I don't think they'll be very big at all. I know. The frosting, and she's got the white mohawk. Rowdy, I'd like to come over there and pet you, but man, look at his ears. See, he's got his ears just pointed at me. He's like, I'm keeping an ear on you. Yeah, I mean, not like a longhorn. She'll have horns. Maybe when she's 20 years old, she'll have a big horn. But it's going to take a long time. Anything that really has horns on it, by the time they're Rowdy's age, they're pretty much exposed pretty good by then. You know, they're longer than hers. That's got any kind of longhorn, or just horned, period. Rowdy is not a real fan of being petted, and laying down is really hard to approach. Like any cow that'll let you pet them laying down, they're real vulnerable laying down. And to get to this level here is not easy, I'll be honest with you. Especially calves, they want to jump up. You could slip over there and pet him some until he figured out he was getting petted and he'd jump up. No, Ruth, she would definitely. What's the matter, Ro-Ro? What's the matter, old girl? Huh? They love spots they normally can't get to. Look at Rowdy's butt, though. See how wide his hips are and his butt sticking up? Like he is, that's a beefy characteristic. He's got even a real dark strip down his back there, I just noticed. Man, it is from the back of his head. Look at that. It just without the big ears, it just looks like Roxanne. Like I can tell that's her baby. No doubt about it. That big crown. Now he's not going to have horns for sure because Redford has none. Roxanne has none. It's definitely if we were in the breeding business for beef, um, he's a good looking calf. He looks really good too around. What makes him look really extra good is he's around like a Brahmin. They're real bony looking, and then he's around these crosses like Roro here. So he really just sticks out. It's kind of like taking your. I'm going to use this in a nice way, but it's kind of like taking your ugly friend with you when you go out to look for girls. You know what I mean? You don't want to take your best looking friend with you. Or just fix them all. Not really sure. Takes about 2 or 3 years for old Rowdy there will get into the breeding business. 2 years, anyways, before he's serious about it. Um, so we got a little bit of time. Give us another project. Like we need one. Once we get the house buttoned up and the barn done, we'll be able to work on some projects easier. Look at Rhonda. She goes down there. I don't care how hot it is. Rhonda goes down there and she will stand in that sun. And she loves basking. That's why I say she's fancy. It's a basking thing. Ruben's gonna give him a drink and poop down there by her probably. She gonna get her a drink now. Yeah, that pond is literally a hole in the ground, like a meteor hit there. It's super deep, super steep off the bank, so you can see Rufus how tipped down he is. I need to build something. It drops off right in front of him, and then there's really not a shallow spot, and he likes to walk out, so I need to build him a bench out there. Either take some buckets of the shell and dump out there and make him a bench, something. The other pond is the one that he loves. It's not too bad. It's been really muddy because of all the runoff. Don't forget to hit the like button, folks. Thanks, Nikki. How's the fair going, Nikki? Well, if you shallow it up any, it'll get hot and dry up. You need some depth, and you need the water to be clear. Dirty water gets quick. So when the sun gets on it, if it's dirty, it gets hot really quick. If it's clear, obviously the sun shines to the bottom. Moonshine. Oh man, now you're talking my language. I would sit in there. I can hear the fans running right now thinking about the fair. I can smell cow shit and I can hear fans running. I like to go look at the rabbits. We used to grow rabbits when I was a kid, and I like to go look at those. What are they called? Mammoth or no? What are the giant ones? Lisa. Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a guy that makes me some apple cider, and man, it's some good stuff. I heard that. Huge rabbit. Is it mammoth? Flemish giants. That's it. Gosh dang it! I can't believe I called that mammoth. Um, the Flemish giants. I actually bought some one time. Anybody's watching for snakes here? Man, I'm on the snake lookout right now. That freaking cottonmouth in the middle of a dry driveway, a half a mile from my ponds. Um, Not a good start. to the Monday morning. Flemish Giants, that's them. It's my favorite part. Those, and I like to go look at the pigs because the pigs are so pretty at the fair. They don't taste good. Yeah, we always grew them new ones. The one with the red eyes that nobody liked. Meat rabbits. What's funny is me and Paisley grew the lion mane, and then we had some fur rabbits and some other stuff, and we raised them things and sold them for pets. And when she was little bitty, and we made really good money off the rabbits. Really good money if you want to deal with them. Oh, they're all. I want to see the babies, huh? We were watching Ron, and then they all disappeared. See, I think y'all could watch some of this shit while you're working or something. Watch a live feed of these guys. The problem is, till it cools off, they're not going to be up here. But I would like to try some 10-hour live feeds down here so y'all can see what all's going on. I'm watching now. See, I knew it. Always had a pet pig growing up. We never had anything that wasn't for sale. So maybe that's why I keep everything now. Everything I had, my dad was, for sale. My dad would get horses and we'd break them out, get them straightened out and lined out, and get their hooves fixed up, and then they were sold. But that's how we survived. Rabbit. Yeah, rabbit is actually is good. I enjoy rabbit. I haven't eaten any rabbit in a long time. Hang on a second. What was that? Brent, is Rufus a show quality bull? No, no, he's not. He's just an asshole. My asshole. No, Rufus doesn't have a lot of characteristics that people would use for a herd bull. One good thing about Rufus is he has a very low birth weight calf for his size, but his calves grow like really big, really fast. So that's you can get a bull that will throw a giant calf, giant, like 3 or 4 times the size of anything I've ever had, and they lock the cow up, and cows can die. Calves die. Like sometimes bulls will throw giant calves. I mean, giant. It doesn't even matter what they're eating. They just have a giant birth weight, and it's really dangerous. That's one good thing about Rufus. He's really not ideal. He's giant, tall. He's really big, even though he throws a small birth weight. Like he's hard on cows. He's not really an easy keeper. He likes to run off on me. Not really much about Rufus says, not beating up my bull, but he'll make a baby. Would any other farmer have kept Rufus? No. He has a great calf, I think. But farmers, they with a bunch of cows, and they run a lot of bulls together. Here's the big bulls get a bad rap, and here's the reason why. This is my own personal opinion. Here's the reason why. It's because when a big bull, he is dominant. Okay, so it takes one bull for every 25 cows. So if you have 100 cows out there, you need 4 or 5 bulls out there. Well, it takes all of them to cover that many cows to get everybody pregnant in that time frame, you need that many bulls. So the biggest one is stronger than the rest of them. So what happens is he'll mount a cow, and those smaller satellite bulls will ram him. And those, what happens is when they try to ram him, when they look for a sneaky spot in there, and they ram him while he's mounting the cow, and it will break the hips on the cow underneath of him. And that honestly is why they get such a bad rap. If you get two bulls about the same size, they'll fight each other. One will be more dominant than the other one. They'll spend more time trying to mount the cow rather than trying to knock the bigger one off. But if you get a great big one like Rufus, and then you get smaller ones like Redford, Rufus is going to do the breeding. And the other ones are going to try to knock him off. And you're going to get some hurt cows out of the deal. My opinion is you try to keep your bulls about the same size. Only my opinion, man. And cattle farmers who's on here right now, you can tell me. That's my opinion. And I ain't damn sure won't change any cattle farmers' opinions because they are stuck. So I will tell you this, I witnessed firsthand these two guys fighting, and I witnessed firsthand what happens when Rufus mounts one. And then I've started watching a lot of fields, and I've watched it happen time and time again. I'm like, okay, well, that bull got a bad rap because we got a cow with a broke hip, but it's actually that little bull's fault. Oh yeah, you can tell Rufus's babies. Is that where the straws are from? Yeah, so a lot of farmers now with those giant herds, if they can, they'll AI their cows just to save that whole thing, and they'll make sure that all of them are bred. They give them a shot, and it'll make them cycle. It'll make them clean out with one cycle, then the next cycle they'll artificially inseminate them. So then all their cows will calf around the same time. You want your calves born late winter so that they're about through nursing by the time that the grass starts growing. So then you're able just to roll them right over into grass, and there's no feed. You don't want them born in the summer, unless you just have a shitload of pasture and you don't care like me. So if you have these guys late winter, early spring, then they got all summer. You don't have to buy a feed for them. You sell out in the fall, so you don't have to feed them all winter. And you sell a good, healthy, big, 600-pound calf in the fall, and then start over. It's not cheap. Neither is keeping a damn bull, though. You got to think about it. You AI your cows, or you keep, if say you got 100 cows and you need 5 bulls, you got to buy those 5 bulls. You're not going to sell those 5 bulls, and then those 5 bulls are going to fight. They're going to tear shit up. And then not only that, but after 2 months, all your cows are bred. You can either do one of two things. You can sell them and rebuy again the next year, or you can feed them all winter. So that's how that works. Ruth, you want to come stand over top of me? Or are you getting some sun? Is Brent AI? No. No, and I think people misunderstood. I don't know that a lot of people. I just use Chat GPT. I just use the voice on Chat GPT. It's basically just reading what you can just look up. So rather than you just pulling up through Google these things, it's just reading it out loud. You just pick the voice. So if I'm driving or something, I'm not trying to read something. It's not like anything crazy. How old was our parents when I was born? I 20s, I'm guessing. Probably 20 to around 30. Yeah. I'm 47, my mom was 70. Yeah, probably in the upper 20s. What is the main income or money gain? So if this was a cattle farm and we were raising cows to sell, like Rowdy there, he would bring, if we kept him to 600 pounds, he would bring about 2,500 to 3,000, maybe even $3,500 for him or more. So you could say you'd have 3, 6. Well, they're more than that, but not a whole lot. So you'd have 3, 6, 9, maybe a little bit more because she's big. Don't mess with me. So you'd sell those calves. So, and then you would start over. And if you wanted to keep a couple heifers, a lot of farmers are always torn with heifers because you just never know what you're going to get. If they're going to calf, if they're going to breed back, if they're not going to breed back, if they're going to have troubles. Heifers are a lot of work to make sure they get that first calf. I do not sell any of my cows. Am I on BLM Live? I don't even know what that is, but no. Mike, do I know you from somewhere or something? That name sounds familiar. Do you have a daughter, Mike, named oh, it's Brown's birthday today. BLM in Oklahoma. I think Mike's full of shit as a Christmas turkey. Carrie, you too. Bureau of Land Management. Never heard of her. Yeah, there's a lot of wise guys in here. Oh, you can sign up for those government programs here too, and I don't know that that's what he was talking about or not, but they'll build you a pond and they'll do like 50-50 on stuff. It's kind of a government funded deal, but some of that stuff you really got to watch out for because if you build a pond that's government funded, then the public has access to it. Now you don't, nobody ever obeys by that, but the actual rule there is that the government built it and then it does give access legally. Now they can't cross your property, so it kind of rules itself out. But no, I mean I've thought about it. I've seen a lot of people build stuff, but they also have their own specs, all this shit that you gotta meet before you can do it. Public access to water, same in California. Well, this is like they'll pay. So if that pond costs $10,000 to build, they'll pay 5 of it, and then that you have like a 4-year public access or some shit. I've never even heard of anybody trying to go to a pond that was built on those programs, but be my luck. They do. It does help the farmer some for sure, especially if you need a pond bad. all humanity is squatting. I only squat when I poop. Or I'm really not real good at squatting anymore. Actually, my knees kind of hurt when I squat down a lot now. What makes you say that, Mike? Mike said that? I didn't even see who said that. Oh, yeah, I know Matt Muffin. Get 2 camels? Man. Let me tell y'all something about when you get this exotic shit, like these birds I'm about to have, or bird I'm about to have, horses and stuff that's never seen that kind of stuff. They freak out at first. They have to get used to that. So that's going to be interesting. And horses are flight animals, and they will kill themselves to get away from something crazy that they've never seen. A lot of people don't know this either, but a lot of horses will go absolutely apeshit crazy if they see a donkey. Donkeys have those giant ears. They got a face. They've kind of got dark circles around their face. And man, if you've had a horse out here and you've ridden it everywhere and you broke it real good, but it's never seen a donkey, whew, get ready. Get ready. Oh, yeah. Donkeys. Pretty much every farm in Arkansas here has a donkey or two, because donkeys will kill coyotes. A lot of people don't know. Donkeys are very, very, very aggressive to dogs. When I see these people buying these donkeys and having their little kids around them, and if they don't know much about them, but you don't see a lot on TV. But I'll tell you this: when I was little, my dad would not let me get around donkeys. He said he's seen them pull dogs' legs off and everything else. They are. They literally, people don't believe that, but they are literally guard donkeys. And you can put a couple of them out with cows and you won't have any problems. Oh, yeah, donkeys will tear you apart. They'll grab a hold of you and swing you around until whatever they have a hold of comes off. Mules. Yep, we got some black bears here. Donkeys are like a souped up goat. Donkeys and horses are very strong. Hell yeah, they do. I seen my dad and his horse get lifted up by a stud horse by the neck. The stud grabbed my dad's horse by the neck, bit down, pulled him and her through a fence. That zebra, I don't know if y'all remember that, but it ripped that one guy's arm off a week or so ago. The farmer, the cops ended up having to shoot him. And now that was a zebra, but the problem was it was a stud. Now, I don't know much about zebras, but I can tell you a stud will do the same thing, a stud horse. It's actually against the law in Arkansas to have a stud that's not inside a rail fence. So if you have a stud horse, it has to be inside a rail fence, tubing fence. It cannot be held by wire. They're dangerous. A lot of times people like to walk up to fences where there's a single horse by itself, and a lot of times that's a stud horse. And he's in there because it's a stud, and they can really hurt you. So when you walk up to fences, see if you see any nuts underneath their belly before you walk up there. Everybody likes to carry a baby up there to pet them on the nose, and when you carry a little kid underneath on your arm, all I can think about is that freaking horse biting my dad's horse and dragging him and his horse through that fence. And I'm thinking, That thing could reach over. Now, they're not like a cow. They got teeth on top and bottom. Imagine a 800-pound, let's say, pit bulldog. I know that sounds crazy to say that, but that's what a donkey is, especially a stud, a jack. Um, I don't even forgot. Yeah, a jack. They're nothing to play with. Yeah, it's just people need to understand. Jackass, yep. The female is a Jenny, and a male is a Jack. Man, the squirrels are different up north. Y'all got different squirrels. In Philadelphia, I had a squirrel chase me down the boardwalk one time. I had to kick the shit out of it. And then a buddy of mine had one run up his pant leg. I'm like, dude, it's a squirrel. I don't know if anybody ever squirrel run up your leg before. I've had this happen to me a few times, which is weird. But their claws go through your jeans real easy and into the meat of your leg. Yeah, those Philly squirrels are built different, man. I feel like they have the mindset of like a homeless person that can't go to jail. Is that fair to say? Let's go walk down here and look at this pond, see what these guys are doing. See if we can. We don't have any snake charmer with us, but whatever. So we'll see the biggest cottonmouth ever. Trying to get my stand here going here. Rowdy, what do you think, bub? Man, he just really started growing. It's so weird to me because we never had cows. We always had to raise calves, bottle calves. And then they were sold. But it's crazy to me see them, how well they grow on their mom, because a bottle calf, if Rowdy was a bottle calf, he would probably be the size of Rip still. They just don't do well on bottle milk. Cat milk replacer. I know I'm gonna get some ticks on me, but whatever. Take your poop, walked you off a poop there, good. You can see my grass is pretty much non-existent. Maybe we'll keep service over here. We're really gonna go get you a drink. How old she is for sure. 600-pound calf in 6 months. You're doing pretty good. Man, I had so many of my nice big oaks die. I don't really know why some of them died. Whenever you clear shit out, the tops, whenever you clear all the brush out around them, they quit putting limbs up and the tops die out of them. They do come back, but you can see sometimes they don't. Man, look at the fish. Bet you there's a freaking snake under that. I'm not looking. Should we look or no? Man, we shouldn't look. My mom said don't ever look for snakes. Let's see. Okay, no. That probably gets too hot throughout the day. I hear Redford up there humming. Oh, there he is. It's the only sycamore tree that was on this place. Usually find a A good spot of morel mushrooms right there. Good one. Tons of them. Cleared out all the brush around it. Put that fence in. Hadn't been one back since. That was my only mushroom patch on this place, but I did find a couple this year. Oh man, I already see something wiggling around out there. Should we look for a snake? My mom would say don't do it. I think we just did. I'll show you all the difference in water snakes. There'll be some in here. There were so many frogs that y'all heard. That looks like a damn hog wallow right there. I bet you it is. Anytime it gets dry like this, I like going around my ponds because there's no more water holes and there's no more wet grass and green grass stuff for animals to water from. You know, deer will eat a lot of this shit and that green stuff, and they'll water from that. When it gets this time of year, you go walk around your pond and you can really see what tracks are there coming in and out. Damn, Roxanne's been eating them damn willow trees. What's up, Redford? See, I lost a few more over there. This one here. If it keeps getting drier, we're gonna see what they're all made out of. I bet you there's a damn snake under that 10,000 pound rock right there. I saw a couple water snakes right here yesterday. I don't see any right now. Never know what you'll see down here. Ooh, right there's one. You'll see him. Oh my God, see that shit right there? That's what I'm afraid of. Can y'all see my power line up there? He's figured out how to get that freaking electric pole flopping, and he's gonna flop my damn power line. Yeah, that's one of my old folding chairs. You can't keep any chairs down here, so I brought a metal one because Rufus crushes them. Where'd that snake go? We're not hunting snakes, we're observing snakes. Whoa. He's right in there. Oh man, I hear Rufus. It's pretty rare. That's Rufus hangout right there. Zoom in. I don't see much. The water doesn't look terrible though. I can see the bottom for as many of them that have walked in there and stirred it up. If I see one, but look at that. That's where Rufus walks in to drink. That's what he's done to the pond bank. He's gutting some holes there. God. I don't know where that duck bill or whatever that shit. That's not duck bill. It's something. I forget what that's called. Duckweed. See those frogs jumping around? That's what you want to steer away from. Let's see if we can walk down here. I built this little bench right here so that they could walk out there, but I made it just a little too shallow. So there's my freaking rock bar. I've been looking everywhere for that. You know what? That's been there since I was chopping ice. I'll be damned. Well, look at that thing. It's buried in the ground. Yeah. You know why you don't care if you lose this thing? Because it's so heavy, nobody wants to use it. So if you can't find it, you can't use it. Let's stick this thing up here against this tree. Okay, now I'll never remember it's there. That's fair though. Oh, Rufus is. We're invading his privacy. Well, there's a brush hog getter rock right there. Man, that's a good one right there. I should go through now that these weeds are all burnt down. All the rain this spring settled all the dirt back down. And now the rocks are sticking up from the bulldozer. What up, Rick? I hate this spot, but it's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see these trees right here. These right here. There was a cabin right in the middle right there. I don't know how many hundreds of years ago. A couple hundred. Hey, roof. You can see those trees. I left everything here because when I got the bulldozing in here, that's some old net wrap, but I hit a bunch of old blue glass right in there. And then once I cleared this out, there's a, right here somewhere, there's a string of daffodils at the back of the cabin. And then there's a string of them right there. Here, you kind of see a trough there. We better pay attention here. We're getting killed out here on some tour. Just looking at the barn or the old house place roof. Damn, Roof, that damn horsefly bit a chunk out of your side, bub. We're gonna go this way. But I found, when I was dozing, I found where the old pilings were, where they had set their post. One right there, one over there. There's one right here. One over there. I don't know how big of a cabin it was, but we're not going towards her. We need to go a different direction. You know what I found in a lot of my videos where I almost die? I take off in the direction towards another cow, and then that triggers him even more so. So I need to pay attention when I'm going a certain direction that I don't go towards a freaking cow. That's what another bull would do. Run in there and try to knock up one of your cows, Roof. Don't worry. I haven't knocked one up to this point. Don't plan on it. Why do I say they wouldn't? He's really big. That's kind of why I went over that earlier, is because he's so big, they would think that he's going to have a real... Damn. Oh, see, I don't know where that poop comes from. gonna move downwind a little bit though. That's a marking. That's, you can see, like literally we're standing, you can see all the paw marks. We're standing in Rufus's house. The reason I hate this spot is because this tree right here was hit by lightning. You can see it's busted in half all the way up it. And I hate for them to stand down here by these damn trees. Lightning, this little valley right here, all the way up through, it's because there's moisture in the ground. This is just my observation. I'm no scientist here, but I think all the moisture in the ground runs up this valley, but there's about 6 trees hit by lightning up this valley. This one here, it busted the tree completely in half on both sides. Like I can stick my hand through it on this side. Right in there. Well, it's kind of swelled back up. It's still alive, which is, I would say it's shocking to me it's still alive, but that would be a little bit a shitty joke. Yeah, I think it's just moisture in the soil. Like there's just a little more moisture up that valley, but you would think where lightning would hit would be the highest point, right? No, it's up this valley. That one right there. I think there's a total of 6 trees. I think there's only 3 of them left. I bulldozed the other ones out because they died. But I know, I ain't even messing with him. He's already shit a spot and everything like that, dude. Don't worry. Rufus don't bluff. I know, bub. I know it. We're down here on flatland too, where you like to be. See, it gets flat down. There's a service still all right down here. Lightning goes where it wants. I know, but it's kind of weird that all the trees that are struck by lightning go up this valley. But if you look right now, with it being this dry, you can see it's green all the way up the mountain, all the way up that valley. So whether it's just those trees are grounded better, they're a little more moist, I don't know. But I do know this, on this entire place, all the trees hit by lightning are up this valley right here. So if you ask me my opinion, they're grounded a little bit better right through here. This is a good spot. What did the old timers that picked this spot right here? If you look to the north, you got a little bit of a break here for wind. You got a break this way. You got a nice little valley here. And that green spot right there tells me there's water pretty shallow right there. That's probably why they built the cabin right here. And then I found a cold cellar dug in right there in the ground. And then pretty much the only flowers that survived are those daffodils. So you can always tell an old house place. I don't know how they stay dormant underground in the woods, you know, because this was all woods. There was no field here. There was when they were here. I'm not going near her. Rufaloo. But I left the little brush patches, brush and trees right here. Rufus, they all like to stay right in there. I don't know if we're going to keep service or not here, but I feel old. We still have service. There's an old woodshed right there. In that, I didn't know it was there. Oh, we could, y'all still good? Let me see if I can get one of these persimmons down. We cut a persimmon open. I see some actually. Rufus, come here so I can stand on your back. may not be mature enough yet. You guys don't let him sneak up on me. So have y'all ever seen a persimmon? Anybody? Everybody? That's what they look like. And if you, we're gonna go back up here to the shade somewhere. See this little spot right here? I stand on here and I noticed there was a nice steady breeze right here. Cows will tell you where the air moves a little bit. What's funny to me is that the cows picked the same spot that the people did. Oh my God. If anybody ever tries to get a bite of one of these while it's green, this shoo! Well, let me tell you, there's no explanation for what it does to your mouth. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. If somebody took 1,000,000 cotton balls and swabbed every drop of moisture out of your mouth to the point your lips are curled and they will not uncurl, that's what it feels like. Not sour. It's not sour. It's it's in just a, like if you take and just do that right there, that little spot right there, and you touch your tongue to that right there, it's going to go through your entire mouth like within just a second. Your entire mouth is going to feel like it's dried out with a leaf blower at the highest speed ever, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Now when they get soft, they turn purple. They're really good. Really, really sweet. All sugar. All the animals love them. Deer love them especially. I'm not kidding. Like, I can't even explain how dry your mouth is. You can't talk hardly. Like, if you get a decent little nip, see, there's some glass right there. See that glass? I hit that with the dozer is what made me stop. Like, you can tell, like, it's old, like unpure glass. Man, it's really thick. That must be our tops or something. Why are y'all falling down? Y'all stand up here. Hell, you're going to sleep on me. Yeah, old glass. It's curved like it was definitely a jar. Yeah, I'd say that was the old homesteaders right there that came in here. And it's kind of funny when I dozed this place off and cleaned up all the brush and all the trees, and this whole place was covered in trees this big, you know, everything. And that old cedar tree there, that tree right there, it's a red cedar. I don't know if you can see how big it is or not, but guarantee you, the old timers did the same shit. Like, they would leave a big cedar like that because it's a natural fly repellent. So you would leave a cedar tree in your front yard. Tart, oh my God, to say the least tart. I can't explain it. It's like if you just licked that right there, don't even take a bite of it. That's a seed right there. You can see these things are plumb full of seeds. You ever heard that guy's grinning like a possum shitting peach seeds? Persimmon seeds, same thing in the South. Because I'll show you here. See if I can get this where we can all see, but they're full of, they're giant, they're big old seeds. They're about the size of a pumpkin seed. I'm trying to figure out how we can get one out of here. These are really green. Oh man. Hang on, Ruth. We're trying to do an experiment here. Here I go, going towards her. Don't do it, Rhonda. I can't do it right now. Oh no, this is not a good time for pets, Rhonda. I love you though. All right, let me get this opened up a little bit. Look at that old big fat head. So here's what the seeds look like. If anybody's ever seen them, it's just the whole inside is just stacked in seeds. They're just rows all the way around in a circle of seeds. Rhonda, you're going to get me in big trouble right here. I'm going to move over here. We still have service down here? Okay, so the old timers believed that inside the persimmon seed there is a spoon, a knife, a fork, and it's the root stem in the seed. A knife, a spoon, a fork. Yeah, I think it's it. And they believe that root stem would tell you what the weather was. Oh, by the way, is that Rowdy? That is Rowdy. Man, he sounds like I haven't heard him yelling. Oh my God, dude, just leave me alone for a minute. Anyways, yeah, that was Rowdy. I thought it was Roro. And see, there's another reason. Like everything adds up to be Redford's because that's a Brahmin. Hear him? It's like a baby ship horn. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this in half, and we're gonna see what the root inside there looks like. It may be too green. We'll see. Hang on a second here. I've never seen this some bitch accurate in my life, but actually I can't say that because I've never remembered what it was. Ruth, go do something, man. You gonna get me down here and step on a damn snake? See how big this old cedar tree is? That's what I was saying. That thing right there, it's older than all them trees. Rowdy. Okay, hang on. Okay, well, I screwed that seed up. Well, let's try another one, but you can kind of see that root stem in there. Hang on. Man, my hands are covered in that stuff. I'm going to forget here in a minute, put my finger in my mouth and get some of this shit in my mouth. And then you're going to hear me stop talking for a while. Some people are like, do it now. This is so interesting. I guess I got that seed dug out. That's what the seed looks like. Like a pumpkin seed. They need to be brown to do this accurately. You know what I mean? We're cutting seed open. See, well, what I was going to say was there was another foggy morning this morning. So that's 6 foggy mornings so far. So that means we're going to have 6 snowstorms this winter. If y'all would like to keep up with that, Brent Lockridge's predictions. Measurable snow, I think is what it says. Hell, he'll eat it with no problem, I bet. He loves persimmons. I used to give them to my horse all the time. Seeds aren't the best for them when they're mature. Okay, so I broke it a little bit, but you can see, can y'all see that I broke this spoon, but it's a spoon. See, it's a perfect spoon, but I broke the handle with my knife. But can y'all see that? Can you see Rupe's about to smash me? And they really do, like, they really do look all totally different. Like, big time different. Like, the knife is definitely a knife, the fork is definitely a fork, the spoon is definitely a spoon. Like, there's no doubt what it is. Rube's breath stinks, dude. I love you. I should get something for your breath. Rufus is down to the hawk over here, so dry, hot day today. Hang on, I'm gonna do one more. So what the spoon means is you're gonna be shoveling snow. It means a shovel, scooping, dipping snow. So the spoons mean eventful snow weather, winter. I hear him huffing, man. He's starting to huff. Oh, I broke it again, damn it. I shaved it off, but you can see these are so green they're hard to cut, but let me see if y'all can see. My knife is making it get blurry, but you can see that that was gonna be a spoon for sure. Y'all see that? Look, I smashed my pinky now. Whew, God, that hurt. That hurt. Spoon, 2 spoons. Okay, well, looks like we're screwed. Fork, light. I think fork is light precipitation, and then the knife is ice. I think. Well, I'd have to. I don't remember. The knife is ice, I think, and the fork means pretty light. Somebody have to look it up real quick, make sure I'm wrong. Correct. Is that what it was? Good morning. That's right. Okay. I was thinking so. I hate the. I've really only seen. Well, I've seen all of them. I used to sit around and cut these things like when I was a kid. You'd cut them, million of them apart, looking for a shovel so you can tell everybody you found a shovel. Because if you cut enough of them apart, you're going to find everything. Here, Roof, you want this persimmon? Here, bub. Here, Roof. Here, boy. Come on, boy. Come on. Here. I need something to rattle. Well, he gets when you get up here to him, doesn't he? He ain't no little puppy no more. Some bitch is 9 foot tall. Here. Roof, here. 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 It's persimmon, bub. Man, I'm nervous as a cat on a tin roof. Here, bub. You don't like persimmons? He smelled it. Here. Okay, I take that as a no. He's 6 foot anyways. He's better than that. Y'all want me to walk around this side of him so you can see how tall the bastard is? This is a bad idea, actually. He shaved the hair off his hide there a little bit. Roof. The camera angles do him no justice when we're up there by feeding him and stuff. But when you get out here and you can see the Great Wall of Rufus, it's different. It does no justice for him. It's like, have you ever been to the mountains, took pictures of the mountains and got home to show people and you're like, the hell? Looks like a hill. That's the same way it is with him. Here, bub. Bubba. Bubbers. He's not in any mood. Here, you want to smell him on the ground there? I'll take that as a no. Okay, I'll take that as even a note or no. Gotcha. What's going through Rufus's head is, what do you think he's going through? He's going to run up there and breed one of them cows. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be caught out here in the open either. It's like, I know you're trying to steal my cows. I've been around here for 5 years. We'll bring you more cows, but yet you think I'm going to steal your cow. I've had Rufus standing like that right there, dead calm, nothing going on, and just bust into a charge. And let me tell you, I've actually had it happen about 3 times now. I've actually even had him pointing the opposite direction and him come at me. That's the unpredictable part. I'm gonna piss over here in your spot. That'll probably get him going. See, from about right here where we're at, down, that's the deepest valley on my place. And from there, that cell tower from our mountain just can't quite reach right down in there. I don't know what he'll weigh. He's damn sure bigger. I was looking at videos of him when we weighed him. You know, we weighed him at 2,200, 2190 something, and then we weighed him at 29 something. No, it was even 2,900, I think. And I wanted to see 3,000 so bad on the scale. And that day when I took him, I left 2 sacks of feed in the front trailer. And Amanda says, you got to shut up about that. Nobody cares. But I left 2 sacks of feed, which was 100 pounds in the front of the trailer. So when I got back, I weighed truck, trailer, and all. Then I went back and weighed empty truck trailer without him in it. Well, I didn't subtract for the fuel, and also didn't subtract for the 100 pounds of feed that I took out. So I was so certain he was going to break 3,000 though. I get the ticket that says 2,900 pounds, and I was like, son of a bitch. And Amanda was like, well, I said, you know, I burned about, I don't know, about 8 gallons of fuel, so plus the feed, we definitely would have broke it. She goes, no, you can't. Nope, it's 2,900 pounds. And then when I went to the vet with him to have his hoof fixed, he'd lost weight because he was limping. I think I told you all this, but he, oh my God, I just thought my shadow was telling the story of what I was doing. Oh man, my shadow was right there. I was like, well, we'll never be on here again. But anyways, I didn't take off for any of that stuff. But what up, Ross? Did we lose service? Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong on live. Look, I lost those 3 trees too. Yeah. Those suck because those were some really, really old oaks right there. I needed those to stay down in that valley too to hold the dirt some. But I can imagine when this house was here, this was their view. They probably had this all cleaned up, had a nice little field here. And then I found their garden spot in that green patch right there. I was tilling this field, breaking it up. And when I got down to there, my tiller just sank. There was no more rocks, really good looking soil. And then I came out of it back up. So then I turned around and came back and I went this way and I found the whole garden. That tree wasn't there. That other tree down there wasn't there because the good soil goes right through where those trees were. So imagine the cabin right here surrounded in these trees facing that way with a big old garden out in that bottom. Pretty cool. And I found a hoe head right there, a hand forged hoe head, and a something else, a wagon wheel wrench on the other side over there. I don't know if we learned a damn thing, Mike, but we learned that there's a shovel in there. Rufus will still smash you. He doesn't like persimmons. There was a house here. Would have been pretty cool to have seen their spot. I know that, I don't know if y'all can see, but right through there, there is a monster of an oak tree. It is, it's right there. Not these over here. It's actually over there, but it is, I mean, giant. It's as big as 2 or 3 of these trees. Whoa. All together. So I'm like, and it's in the middle of the garden. So I'm going to say it's probably at least 150 years old. So if it was in the middle of the garden, which means the garden would have been at least 150 years ago. Can y'all see it down there? It's a beautiful tree. Yeah, there you go. See it? Nice and green. That big one right there. It's down in a big hole too. So that tells me that that garden is at least 150 years old. These trees here aren't super old. And then, where was it? You can kind of see there's a dish right here in the ground. When I was running a dozer across here, I went down in it and came out. And I started looking, and for sure, that's the freaking driveway. Or wagon way, I guess, would have been more like it. There's definitely something man-made right there, and it's compressed really good because when I run across it with a dozer, I could feel soil change right there. I didn't know it at the time. I was just like, I wonder what the hell that was. And then right here's that spring. That's why I built the pond there. So they had them some water here. And there's my poor ass miserable weeping willow tree. It did come back, but didn't I say I wasn't going to be on here long? See, there's some more of that glass. I think the cold cellar was in this dish right here. There was a lot of big limestone rocks stacked up right here, but not really enough to say there was something there. But there's my damn, that was the most beautiful weeping willow tree till Rufus got a hold of it. And now look at that, some of it's just pathetic. It was one that wasn't even grafted, so it was like good and straight stem stock. Man, look at that damn thing. I guess you could say it survived. great. I mean, I don't even know where I could cut it back to get it to straighten up. Not even, actually, you know what? That's how it got started last time. I just stopped and looked at it, and Rufus noticed me looking at it. Look, he's down there looking too. Like, oh, your tree come back? Just wait till this evening. Whole place full of trees. Now, that's what we want. I planted it where that spring was. I was like, man, that thing will grow. It was probably 3 or 4 times that size before he wrecked it. I'm actually surprised it lived. I mean, if you could call it living. It was so weird because it was way up here like this tall last year. It was all like drooped like that. It was like a mushroom. It looked perfect. And I pulled in and it was gone. Like I'm looking down here and I'm like, how could that tree disappear? But when I got down here, it was broke off right there. Anyways, enough about me crying about my tree. One of the few I've ever paid money for. There's a piece of the Ranger laying there. I don't really know what that was. Well, I'm gonna walk up here now that it's hot and then try to do something today. Look how steep though it is from here to the house up there. This is about level right there. Steep. It looks pretty flat from up there though. On camera, it's so weird. Now you can see Redford's whole side. It goes open over that, but his whole side is pretty sloped. That's why I put the girls down here when they're getting pretty big and pregnant so they can get some flat land. What up, Redford? What you up to, son? Just trying to bulge your eyeball out this morning or what? What's the matter, Bubba? Is that fence still on? He's waiting for me to attack him because I've attacked him before. Redford's never been attacked by a human, but he's the most prepared animal on the planet for a human to attack him. Never. Amanda went to the dentist this morning. She just texted me and said, teeth perfect. She's always paranoid that she has a cavity. No, he's Earth. He's only 4. I don't know. I missed part of that. Teeth perfect, lip pinched. That's what I should text her back. How'd your lip look to the dentist? I told Amanda. I said, I don't even think before I say stuff, but I said, our new dentist looks just like Miranda Lambert. Like she's this little bitty blonde with beautiful eyes, and Amanda looks at me and she's like, I will stab you, you know, one of those kind of things. And then she comes back from the dentist, she goes, she does. I said, I know, it's weird. It's uncomfortable. I mean, you don't want Miranda Lambert digging around in your mouth. I've told her. The dentist just looks at me. I had a bunch of teeth broke on one side. I got kicked in the mouth by a horse a long time ago, but I've had them fixed over the years, and I had to have an implant put in, a couple of them. Yeah, those things are not cheap, by the way, but I went over to the surgeon And this son of a bitch looks like a movie star too. And I'm like, what's it with all these damn dentists? I said, it just came from Miranda Lambert. I can't remember who I thought he looked like. Redford's like, nobody wants to hear what your damn dentist looks like. Shit. Hey, Bubba. Oh, I hadn't fed you yet, how about? Like you need it. They did get him a fresh bale of hay. I can't think of what his name is. Blake. No, he looks like a movie star. He looks like somebody that'd be on like General Hospital or something that just stares off into the distance and shit and cries. Something like that. Just gazes, thinking. There's no dust on anything. It's really weird to me that there's no dust on anything in soap operas. Ever. There's not a flake of nothing on their clothing. There's nothing. Yeah. Never. Nothing. Everybody's just gazing. Every time I walk in and Amanda's watching any kind of show like that, I try to guess. I have no clue what's happening or what the show's even about, and I try to guess the storyline the second I sit down. And she'll usually just pause the TV and wait for me to get done. And she'll go, no. And I mean, I don't come up with, I come up with radical stuff that it could possibly be. Or Amanda's really by the book on stuff, like she takes me serious so much. Or I'll say, oh my God, did they find out that what's her name? And I'll say just a random name is pregnant yet? And she'll go, what? What show is that? Or something, What is on your side, Redford? Your sister's husband is a dentist, and he looks like Robert Redford, Clint Eastwood. That's an interesting combination. The girls in my house like that guy on Twister. I call him old pretty boy. And then they never said that, but we went to the movies and watched it like 3 times, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, you son of a guns. I just liked the movie. And it was like a snow. I don't remember what was going on. We went to like watch it a couple times, and by the second or third time, I was finally like, I know what's going on here. I'd say it's probably 90. It's probably in the 90s by now. Yeah, yeah, that guy. And then when you said Clint Eastwood, because Clint Eastwood's son is on um, one of the news. He's a news anchor, and I don't remember where, but apparently he's good looking too. No, the new Twister, the new one. Those Smiley, I call him Smiley. He's always smiling like a possum eating shit and peach seeds, or persimmon seeds, we could say today. He's in Top Gun. Clint's son's good looking. Somebody said that. I just read it. He's alright. He's short. I always tell him, I'm like, he's standing on wooden blocks and shit there in this scene. Y'all know that, right? We don't care. And then, what's the guy that was on Jurassic Park? Not the first one, like the newer ones. The one that trained the velociraptors. I think that one too. There's Gigi. I guess. I don't know. What was his name in the movie? Is he all right looking? Oh, man. Never mind. I like him as an actor. I don't know anything else. He's nice. Oh, man. You don't be that guy. Is it? Are you... I don't watch soap operas. Every time I come in during the day and there's a soap opera on, I feel like I'm 9 years old again, and I just faked my mom out for being sick at school or being sick and didn't go to school. That's what I think. And like she would make you clean the bathroom or something if you didn't act sick. You ain't acting sick to me. I am sick of school. It was like General Hospital or something. I still remember like the ambulance at the first of it. I'll tell you what he's thinking. He's thinking he'd like to kick my ass. See, that's what I'm trying to say. It's so funny at my house. Like, I don't watch TV ever. So, whenever it's like miserably hot like this, I'll come home. I've been coming home about 3 o'clock and then waiting for it to get dark. I have so many. Nobody even argues with me about anything I want to watch. Like, I get free access to the TV. It doesn't even matter if they're in the middle of a movie. Like, I wouldn't ask them to stop that, but like that's how free a pass as I get. And I'll watch whatever they're watching because I never say anything. But if I'm like, hey, I saw this show, I'd like to watch this thing, and I like all kinds of what is it called, sci-fi, like Interstellar or the Passengers, shit like that. You just made that hoot owl hoot. Do it again, Redford. I ain't doing shit today. I'm gonna be honest with you. I worked all day yesterday. Well, it was cool. It's really not as bad right now. There's the shadow puppet right there. Watch out, Redford. There's a rabbit. It's gonna get you. I think it actually pissed him off. Redford was a shadow puppet. We need some rain. Blow again, Redford, so we can hear that owl. Rufus has gone to stage 2. He goes right here for stage 1. Everybody else is there now. There. And if you notice, that's where that giant cedar tree is. They'll go stand there, keep the flies off of them a little bit. Roro and Ruth are just going at it, man. That's why I can see her horns, just because she's been headbutting each other and she's wearing the hair off around them. And Rufus this is moved down to stage 2, the final stage, underneath the big cedar tree in the darkest shade. Yeah, I don't, those two, now they're licking each other. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom this thing in. This stand is really solid, but man, when you're fully zoomed, it is wobbly, isn't it? I've been trying to think of a way to build. I've got a really funny idea I'm gonna try to pull off when it starts cooling off a little bit. And then I've got a couple things that's gonna be pretty funny maybe. Is the fence on? It should be. Big Boss is good. She went to the dentist and she has no cavities. We got another 10, 12 days of 100 plus. So, you know, if we can get down in the low 90s like yesterday, like we're money. We're about out of it. We've got another month probably. Before we're like, usually about mid in September. Oh, I'm gonna do another Christmas special for sure. I'm late from Florida. Hell, you've been up longer than everybody and you're late. Redford, I don't like you wobbling around behind me. It's so dry right now. It's hard to say if it would shock you or not. Already full? Oh man, it's usually really hot. Like this is our hottest, driest time of the year. If yesterday had broke 100, we would have been our longest consecutive 100 plus days ever on record. But of course, we can't even beat that. I think it was in 1980. I didn't tell you yet, Kimberly, because I want to keep it a secret because I'm going to pop it out like a big giant surprise. That sounded weird, but Redford, I wish I quit shaking my power line like so violently that it's going to short out up there. What he's doing is he's getting that guide wire going. I may end up having to set a wooden post at that guide wire. What was it? Emu Ranch, Rancho Cucamonga, Missouri. I know. He's always back here doing something weird. Yeah, I like him. He holds his head up. He really shows muscles. Wolves like to sneak up on each other. They like to catch you when you're not looking, which is what he's trying to do. But I mean, he's got a hell of a bunch of wire here to go through, which he could. Rufus has. I'm glad they knocked that shit off because that was really getting to be a nightmare. Yeah, Rufus went through this fence just like this right here. Well, this exact fence, he went there, right there somewhere. I forget where. And then he went through it down at the bottom. Then he finally went through it down at the wooden post. The sky is blue. It looks like the humidity is down a little bit, which from the foggy morning, I wouldn't have said that, but yeah, this was the separation fence that keeps them from getting together. I figured out that Rufus hates that hot wire way up top because he likes to put his face up there where he can reach across, and once he starts doing that, then he walks through the fence. He just shoves the whole thing down into the ground and gets the shit cut out of him. But I put that hot wire up there, and he really does not like that one at all. That one pretty much stopped it because he's going to eat that one. And see, how you really get shocked is just standing here, it won't shock you as bad. But when you touch that barbed wire, all those fence posts are grounded. So you're grounded. Like, you're going to get every bit of that fence has. So whenever he touches that one and then touches the barbed wire, you get lit up. That's one that burned my leg that time. But it's better than getting down to the road and get hit by a car. Would he go through it right now if he wanted to? Yep. Oh yeah. It's on like that top wire right there is on that water buffalo setting or whatever the hell it is. The one like exotic buffalo shit, whatever. Some bitch is up as high as it could be. That's all I know. I got into it like day 2. I had to run it across his gate too because he figured out he could push the gates over. So I was going to just climb over. Well, it's, you can see how wide it is. It's not wide. It's just a few inches. Well, I went over my gate, tried to straddle that, and then I ended up touching this wire with the inside of my thigh while I was on that gate. I thought somebody shot me. It just dropped me. Well, it's on a pulse. It hits every 2 seconds, I think. So it gives you time to get away from it. But it'll jump a decent little blue flame over to you in your thigh. Amanda will laugh, and you will fall straddling the gate. Now Redford's wire, you can see where it's at. It's right at his head because he likes to put his head down low. So I had to figure out exactly where he liked to carry his head. So when he comes up there, he has his head down, Rufus has his head up. So we had to do one for each dickhead. It's a lot. It was a lot. I just stayed back and watched them and see where they wanted to go naturally. I know you would think this hot wire here would do a lot better down lower. So I had both of them down low at first, and I finally was like, nope. I mean, ideally, we would put a rail fence through here, a nice steel rail fence. But I could build 10 of these fences for what that would cost, probably. How fast they can run. Timmy, yeah, they can run. They can run, actually, if you can look it up, they can run as fast as a white-tailed deer. I know. That's going to shock people, but that's how fast they are. I think 30 to 35 mile an hour, depending on height. Yeah, and maybe your tall ones can run faster. It's pretty scary when you get them in high speed. I've only seen Rufus and Redford maybe 2 or 3 times ever run like that. It sounded like one of their fights was sounded like a full-on car wreck. Like when they ram each other into their shoulders and stuff. All those, they're big old bones in there, and those bones all racked together, and it sounds like a giant 2,000 pounds of giant bones whacking on each other, and it is very loud, and in these rocks and shit, and skidding and slipping and sliding and falling down, and it is very, very violent and very loud. Very, very loud. That's why that fence is like it is. It is rough, man. You really can see when you see them fighting like that, and then you see them like out here playing, and you think that's somewhat rough. Then you see them getting in a real fight, and you're like, oh shit, that wasn't nothing. They'll never hurt each other like that. But in that real fight, that's serious. Well, that's where their fight started, was way up there. Went all the way across here when this was all brush and woods and rocks and shit, and all the way across here. Went all the way across here, and that big treetop was right over there where that stump is that Rufus tried to crush him into. They went all the way down there, ended up at the middle of that pond. Not in the middle, but close to it. Redford was underwater, and Rufus was trying to hold him under there. But you can see, like, look at the boulders and rocks they went through that day. This was a big washout right here. This whole ditch right here was about 8 foot deep. It was a giant wash. So they had to go down in that. And I filled this up with all the rocks off the properties. That's why it's so rocky. And that stump there was the big tree they were hung up in. And from there, down in there. I tried everything that day. I tried shooting rifle, I tried honking, I tried throwing logs between them, I tried a few other things. That was the second fight. You gotta really be careful when they're fighting. They'll kill you. They run over top of you. And the biggest thing is you distract one or the other one, and Rufus was more likely to get distracted. And then the other one gets the upper hand and break their legs. So you're better off just not to mess with them, even as bad as it sounds. Well, I don't hear any damn nail guns going. Well, it's just really sad, you know. So, you know, if you raise dogs, big dogs and stuff, and you get them in a fight, same thing. Well, there's the old barn. I've got some photos and some videos like standing right here. No, actually, the well guy has not showed up, which is a little bit past ridiculous now. I told Amanda, I was like, you know, maybe he meant, or maybe he said Friday, the next Friday, which was which would have been last Friday. So I was like, maybe that's what he meant. And I text, no response. But the company is a friend of mine, more of an acquaintance neighbor. So he's helped me out in buying, so I feel bad to even say anything, but I'm gonna have to. There's only a few companies around that do it. So if I call somebody else, everybody's gonna hear about it. So I'm not gonna wait a whole lot longer, but I wanna wait a little bit longer. Buffalo, all the wild animals. If I had a calf that was out of a real tame cow, maybe, I don't know anything about them. I don't know what diseases they carry. I don't know nothing about them. I will tell you one interesting fact about buffalo that I didn't know is that they can push off birth due to weather. So if there's a shitload of snow on the ground, buffaloes can push off labor until the weather breaks. I forget for how long, but it's quite a while. So when weather breaks, they all calf around the same time. Sometimes if they're all within that so many week window. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, the vet actually told me that. Bison. Everybody's gonna say bison. Well, guys, if y'all are done, I think I'm done. I want to go find something to get into. No, I hadn't paid them yet. Like, they're not paid. But one thing about it right now is, and that's kind of why the way I am, is because I know in droughts like right now, this whole country is nothing but chicken farms. And I would say everybody's well pump that goes out when it's like this, when it's real hot, burns up control switches and boards and stuff like that. I was going to put my well pump in myself. I want to put Schedule 80 2-inch in, and I want to all screw together. So I need a crane. Not really a crane, it's just a boom to put it in myself. But they have all the tools, the pipe, all the stuff. So I could put it in for probably half, but I wouldn't be able to put in what they're going to put in. Oh yeah, she loves her new car. I said, we're just trading payments, but if it's something you like better, then do it. It all started with an oil change. Went bad. Look at this. You guys see a wet cow patty up here? Well, not really. Well, y'all be good. I am going to put a fountain in the pond. I would do it right now, but I have about 9 other projects I need to do. I'm kind of wedged in with my framers. We have a budget each month, so we try to go off that budget, and I did like 2 months worth, so like I'm ahead by a month on budget, if that makes sense. or behind a month, so I need one more month before I start my next project. The old budget, yep, I'm telling you. I'm dying to get a concrete floor in here. I mean, that's my biggest, but that's gonna have to be later. But if I could get my concrete in here, then I could start building my rooms and shit like that. You know, that the materials not that expensive for the rooms and shit like that. So that's what I would be doing. Build me a fort out here, basically. It will be. It's one of those things. It's just so big and so much. You know, house, barn, corrals, fences, pumps, water. I did get all my water ran everywhere, though. I did get my sewer put in here. I did get my electric all put in here. There's my panel right there. I got maybe one outlet right over there. So I did get a shitload done, and now we're framing in the house. I need to do and there's what's left of my drill from these freaking rocks yesterday. I'm gonna have to go get them. I could beat some of these back out, but man, it's just one thing after another. I usually just buy a drill bit every time I'm building fence. They're only about $80, but it's worth every penny. It's coming along. She's coming along. Something gets done every day. Like we're framing in the house right now, which is a step ahead of where the it's supposed to be well pump and then framing. But yeah, what is this month? August, September, October, November. 3 more months. November, December, 4 months before Christmas. It's gonna be close, but I don't think we'll make Christmas out here. I want to do inside the house. I want to do some pretty cool stuff in there. That's going to take some time. So, and we're in no hurry. I would say we'll be able to live in it by Christmas. Whether we will or not, I'd probably not. I actually have a toilet set in my house, but I don't have any water yet. But I am going to build a outhouse over my well pump, or the top of my well casing, and my pressure tank, and I'm going to make it look like I'll put an eyelet on the top so I can just lift it off with my tractor if I need to work on my well, and then I'm going to build it a old style looking old lap or old shake roof outhouse over it. Put me a little light in the little half moon window. Already got that figured out. I'm building Amanda. It's the pantry is going to be a hidden pantry. So you'll go through some cabinet doors to go through into the pantry. Be pretty neat. And I've been doing a lot of thinking. Well, you know how the outhouse had the little half moon slit to let the farts out. Chris, you need to mind your own business. Is how I have the sewer ran for my barn. Chris, don't you worry about it. You're asking questions now. You do. All right, boys and girls, y'all have a good day. Thank you for joining. Yeah. It's a slit in there, a little air in and out, you know. Why did y'all just freeze for a long time? This barn, at least tomorrow's in the middle. I think today's Tuesday. Y'all be good.